So guys, this is the another interview from the series of BSL interviews with Super Gosu Chinese players, and today with us is Mr. Fengzi, Super Gosu Zerg from China, and it's translated by Mr. Awesome Foglus, aka Small Husky. So huge thanks for him for the translation, and welcome, Mr. Fengzi. How are you doing? What's up?
谢谢这个风选手能够来参加这次的这个 BSL Zero 这个的采访。那么你好，疯子选手，这个今天怎么样？这个 What's up？这个今天怎么样？
首先感谢 BSL Zero 的采访嘛。然后我的话，基本上现在每天的生活基本上就是打星际，然后做做直播，然后现在我们国内的氛围也比较好，基本上现在就是每天大概打个8到10个小时的星际吧，然后其他时间的话再安排点其他事情做一下，基本上就是这样。现在也是刚起来没多久。
刚起来，现在国内是下午5点呢。
差不多，我是基本上晚上直播。
了解。So first of all, Fengzi wanted to say thank you very much, Zero, for the opportunity to interview. And so for him, pretty much he plays about Fengzi plays about 8 to 10 hours of StarCraft every day now. So that's sort of like a daily routine. And and because the environment for StarCraft is pretty good right now. So StarCraft is now like a full-time career for Fengzi. So apart from StarCraft, full-time StarCraft, he the rest of the small things, I don't know, like family, food, eating, that kind of stuff. Would how he spends the other times. But and it's about 5 p.m. In China, so things actually just got up. So he just woke up because he streams during the evenings.
Oh, so he's streaming during the whole night and then sleeps during the day, right? This is the schedule.
Yeah, I think so. 这个 Zero 想问，这个你是下午5点起来，然后每天是一直这个直播到半夜凌晨吗？然后白天睡觉吗？
对，我是基本上，比如说现在这个时间起来嘛，然后先忙点自己的事情嘛，然后吃点晚饭嘛。吃完晚饭之后，大概8点钟左右开始直播，直播到大概早上4点到5点吧。然后吃了早餐，看一会儿视频，再休息。基本上现在每天的节奏就是这样子。
哇，原来如此。So Fengzi does he sleeps during the day, and usually he gets up around this time, eats dinner, and then he'll start playing StarCraft from about 8 p.m. in the evening until 4 to 5 in the morning, and then he'll eat breakfast, watch some videos, and then sleep. So that's unusual.
That's a perfect time. That's a perfect time to practice when he's planning to play BSL, because it's actually in the middle of the night for China. So that's actually very good for him. But I wanted to ask him, like, beside that, I wanted to ask him because he's top Chinese Zergs. He was top Chinese Zergs back in the day, and now he is, I assume, also top Chinese Zergs. How does he view himself as in which position in China? Is he top 1 or maybe top 2 Zerg? Because we also seen Mr. Jedi, but what's his consideration of his skill for this time compared to the past?
Awesome， 这个 Zero 选手说，这个你的这个时间表非常适合打 BSL， 因为 BSL 在这个打的时候刚好国内是大半夜，所以这个非常希望这个如果能来打 BSL 国际比赛的话，这个非常合适这个时差。那么这个 Zero 想问你，这个就是现在这个你是这个中国第一虫族嘛？以前是中国第一虫族，现在可能是不是也是中国第一虫族？那么对于这个你现在对自己的实力是怎么看？自己是这个现在是比自己以前自己更强了呢，还是如何？以及这个如果从现在综合实力来看，你觉得自己这个在中国至少在虫族里是大概是一个什么位置？以及像，因为我们知道这个欧洲飞象还知道 Jetty 这个也非常强，那么自己这个综合而言跟 Jetty 相比，这个如何呢？就现在来看，
我感觉我现在的实力吧，没有以前强了，因为毕竟现在上了岁数嘛，现在我年纪也不小了，36了，然后就是反应没有以前快了。因为我前2年的话，在打群欧，因为国内的话当时也没什么就是比赛单挑的比赛，UE 比赛不是很多，就群欧玩了几年，也是今年的话刚回归打1v1的，然后最近恢复的还不错，大概恢复了3到4个月的时间吧。杰地现在挺强的，我感觉现在国内第一 Z 的话，应该是
是 Bonus 还是 Dawid 两个都是神族啊？
都在
然后
韩服里面经常碰到他们，还有那个虫族 SSIAZ 什么那个。
Suzuki Ziki
哦，对对对，昨天还碰到他呢。
了解了解。了解这个，非常感谢。So Fengzi, he personally believes that he's not as good as he used to be since he's 36 now. So his response speed wouldn't be as quick as he used to be when he was younger, and also about only until like about 1 year ago, he was mostly playing 2-on-2 or 3-on-3 games rather than 1-on-1 games because there weren't as many 1-on-1 competitions in China.
Yeah.
So Fengzi has only returned to the 1-on-1 StarCraft competitive scene quite recently, about 4 to 5 months ago. So he's still recovering, and from all the rustiness from multiplayer games. So right now, Jedi is probably the top Zerg player in China, and Fengzi, he believes he's among the top 3 Zergs. But Jedi is like the more consistent player, consistently the best player in China, the best Zerg. So he's still looking forward to further, improving his skills, and he's also very excited for StarCraft because of the overall positive environment. So that also gave him a lot of motivation as well to improve, and so Fengzi also said he would be very keen to attend BSL if possible in the future, and he was also like he knew that there were a lot of strong European players, but he wasn't expecting to lose in some of the recent show matches. I don't know, it might be Dawid or Bonif, I can't remember, but Fengzi said he also encounters Dawid, Bonif, and Suzuki on the Korean ladder quite often, and he ran into a Suzuki just a Ziki or a Suzuki, I don't know, just yesterday. Just only yesterday. So so he's very excited to participate in BSL. So yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That's I can say that if he's practicing 8 hours a day, he can improve very quickly, no matter that he's 36 or 26 or 46. Because, like, I believe StarCraft is a game which is, I don't know how to say it, but if you are playing a lot, then you are very good. If it gives advantage for those who are practicing hard. So. I remember Mr. Fengzi from back in the day from PGL tournaments, because he was second, I believe, in one of the PGLs. So I remember him from back then. But does he still have some some good does he have some good memories from back in the days, maybe some good story, or maybe some fond memories from the era when he was in his top shape, and how if he's comparing this era compared to this era, which part of his StarCraft journey he enjoys more.
Awesome. 这个 Zero 选手说，这个非常开心，你这个现在打星际这个这么积极，而且每天打8个小时。这个 Zero 相信这个不管这个年龄这个多大，这个都这个只要这个他相信这个星际是一个只要努力就能够这个提升的，所以这个 Zero 也非常相信你还能很快的进步，每天打8个小时，这个所以这个。也是非常期待你能够来参加 BSL。那么这个 Zero 说他记得以前你在这个 PGL 这个比赛打了第2名，所以对你非常这个有印象。那这个 Zero 想问你，对于过去的这个就是你在巅峰时期打比赛的这个时候的这个有没有一些什么有趣的回忆或者故事呢？而且以及这个就是自己现在看现在的星际圈，以及这个相比当时自己这个打职业巅峰时期的这个星际圈，这个自己更喜欢哪一个这个时期呢？
各有不同吧。以前的话，就是以前我也打过职业嘛，在职业俱乐部的话，就是全国各地的去打比赛，然后每次线下跟他们在一起，其实很多趣事。当时最多的就是91的一些事情。F91相信应该他也听说过。主要比较有意思的就是每次线下的话，他会通过跟你聊天，然后揣测你的心理，然后就去做一些针对你的战术，然后去判断你的开局什么一些东西，特别有意思。然后现在的话，就是现在的氛围呢，感觉跟以前就不一样了嘛。现在的话，因为疫情也横行，然后大家基本上也很少出门，但是国内的就是很多老板出来赞助很多比赛。现在国内的氛围的话，感觉比以前更好了。现在比赛基本上是不间断的，然后基本上每个月都有比赛要打，然后每天有时候还有很多点播赛啊，还有一些天梯的赞助啊。现在的氛围真的蛮好，感觉就是跟以前那个时期不一样嘛。然后星际这东西的话，真的是可以打一辈子星际，做一辈子朋友的。也很高兴认识Zero 是吧？很高兴认识 Zero 兄弟。的，因为你是不是也是韩国的 Zero 的粉丝啊？所以也叫 Zero。我也是他粉丝。
韩国的 Zero 啊，了解这个。好的，非常感谢。So Fengzi said, so compared to like when he was still playing professional during his prime, the StarCraft scene today is very different, but it's pretty hard to say which one is better. But back then, there, when he was still in professional StarCraft gaming clubs, they would often go, to offline LAN games, and there were some quite interesting stories, and the most interesting one was regarding F91. So usually during the LAN games, F91 would always come over to you and then try to chat with you, and then do psychoanalysis to try to estimate your personalities and their psychological traits in order to anticipate your strategies and come up with counters, just by chatting with you and talking with you, etc. So that was a very interesting memory. But today, it's very different today, because so first of all you have the COVID pandemic, so people don't usually leave their homes really often now, and at the same time there are a lot more sponsors today than compared to before. So the overall environment is a lot more active, a lot better than it used to be 10 years ago. And there's almost always some sort of tournament going on every month. And also Fengzi would also receive show match requests, sponsored show match requests, almost every day, sometimes many times a day. So Fengzi believes that StarCraft is the type of game that you could make lifelong friendships and establish very deep, meaningful relationships with others, the community. So he's really happy, feels really lucky to be invited to this to your interview, and is really glad to know you. Calls you brother Zero, and he was wondering, is your name Zero because you're also a fan of the Korean pro gamer Zero? Because Fengzi is also a fan of the Korean pro gamer.
Yeah, that's a good question. Many people has been asking me that, but when I was creating this nickname, actually ZZZ is a team. I won't tell what's the name because we would be banned on YouTube, but ZZZ is a team, and my uncle was a clan leader of this team. So he told me when I was like, I don't know, 10 or 11 or 12 years old, that I should create a nickname and join his team. And I was like, okay, what's my skill level? My skill level is 0. And I decided that I would be ZZZero. And that was the story behind it. And I didn't know Zero back then, but I'm also a huge fan of Zero. And I'm also a huge fan of this amazing player. So it wouldn't be a shame to have a nickname after him, but actually the story is as I told you. So yeah, back then when I was creating the nickname, the best players was Yellow and Boxer and Blackman from Poland. There was a Polish there, Blackman, so I was a big fan of him. But yeah, that's the story behind it.
Sorry. When you were 10, who was it again? Sorry.
So my uncle was a clan leader, creator, or host of the ZZZ team, and he told me to join this team and find myself a nickname with the ZZZ inside of the nickname. That's why I thought, what's my current skill level, and that was 0, and I decided this fits perfectly, and I'd stay this way. Now it will be around 1-1-1-1, but or 1, but something like that. But it's still I stayed with my nickname because yeah, that's the story.
Awesome, thank you very much. 这个 Zero 说这个很多人也有问他这个 ID 的这个背后的故事，但实际上他当时在这个开始打星际的时候，这个最强的这个重塑还是像 Yellow 这些选手，而不是这个现在的韩国的 Zero。而他这个实际上这个 ZZZ 是当时的这个战队，一个星际战队，波兰的战队，而这个战队的队长就是这个 Zero 的舅舅，是他的舅舅。而这个他当时10岁，舅舅就邀请他来这个 ZZZ 的这个战队来这个打星际。那么10岁，而这个舅舅Zero 的舅舅说他这个10岁这个时候，因为他的实力是0。所以自己就应该叫这个 ZZZ， 然后最后加一个 Zero，因为从这里这个来的，所以他说这个此后就一直没有改了。不过这个也是当然他也现在也很喜欢这个 Zero 这个选手了。不过这个背后的故事是这个样子的。
10岁就加入星际了，其实蛮早的。
Yeah, so Fengzi, he's very surprised that you started playing StarCraft since 10. That's really early.
Yeah, I was left with my uncle who was much older, and he loved StarCraft. So that's probably he passed this love towards me. That's why I'm carrying it on until probably I will have my own child, which I will give this love, and he will continue BSL and love to StarCraft in my family. But but going to the another question, which I would like to ask Mr. Fengzi, how does he view the remaster launch? How he feels like it influenced the Chinese scene? Like that, did it change a lot? Like have it bring more players in? Because Mr. J-Star said that he was first one who started streaming 3 or 4 years ago. I assume it's very similar to the StarCraft Remastered launch. Was it also the time when Mr. Fengzi came back and started streaming? That's also the reason of StarCraft Remastered launch, or because of the overall environment around StarCraft change and it was possible to start doing it more professionally as a career?
Awesome, thank you. 对，这个 Zero 说，这个当时舅舅年纪比自己大很多，但是很喜欢打星际，所以他现在也这个传承下来了这个星际家族的传统，所以现在这个欧美最大的这个比赛 BSL，他就是主办人。那么这个Zero 想请问这个就是疯子，你对这个星际重置版的这个发布这个怎么看呢？因为这个 J-Star 这个之前说也是10年的时候，这个星际2出来了，那么国内的这个职业选手就都就一夜之间就都退役了。那么这个星际重置版出来，这个是不是对这个国内星际圈的这个影响，这个星际复苏的影响这个很大呢？因为这个 J-Star 说自己也是3-4年前这个回来开始直播的。那么这个星际重置版是不是这个你回来打这个星际直播的这个原因之一呢？
不是，然后喜欢星际的话，不是喜欢星际或者星际重置版，然后星际2的话，刚出来的时候我打了半年，就是感觉不是自己的菜嘛，不喜欢，然后就接着回来就是打星际吧。当时国内也没什么比赛，然后断断续续，反正一直没有停过对星际的这个去追求嘛，然后时不时的还会去玩一下，因为比赛不多，打的也不多，当时也去玩了一段时间魔兽世界。然后后面有老板赞助比赛2v2的比赛了，然后就回来打了很长时间的群殴2v2。然后星际在国内重置版在国内的影响嘛，肯定还是有的，因为重置版那个画面更清楚了嘛。然后现在因为就是现在也是疫情的原因，大家也就是出门出的也不多，很多人。然后在国内就是在网上呢，就是回归星际的人也慢慢的多了起来。现在从网上看直播的一些人，从支持的这些观众呀、选手啊、老板就可以看得出来了。现在星际慢慢呈现出一个复苏的状态吧。然后希望星际能更好的延续下去。真的就是像之前我们中国打星际有一句老话，真的就是打一辈子星际做一辈子兄弟这样子。
了解，非常感谢。So Fengzi said, so he did play StarCraft 2 for about half a year, but he didn't really like it, so he returned to StarCraft Brood War when StarCraft 2 was released. But back then there weren't a lot of tournaments, so he sort of played on and off, played StarCraft on and off, and also played quite a bit of World of Warcraft. But then there were later on there were sponsored 2-on-2 matches in China, so he started becoming more active in the StarCraft scene, mostly in competitive 2-on-2 games. So regarding StarCraft Remastered, so to Fengzi, it's not it's completely unrelated to his love for StarCraft. Whether or not there is remastered, he'd still be playing StarCraft. But well, obviously we've got better graphics with the remastered version, but also at the same time, because of the pandemic, people are staying home more and more compared to before. So there has been sort of like a wave of people returning to StarCraft, whether it's just watching streams or returning to play the game. So because of these situations, StarCraft is sort of like reviving. There's like sort of like a revival in China recently. So I guess that's I don't know, but Fengzi is really hopeful that StarCraft would continue to thrive in the upcoming in the future, because there's an old Chinese saying in the Chinese StarCraft scene, which is play StarCraft for life and be friends for life, something like that. So you play StarCraft for life. It's something like that. I don't know, but basically, the idea is that you make lifelong friendships through StarCraft, and it's just like one of the few games that'll keep people together, for forever, I guess. So to Fengzi, he's I think he's never going to leave the game, and whether or not this remastered won't make a difference. And I'm pretty sure there are a lot of others in China as well, and the foreign scene.
Oh, that's very nice answer, and I do believe the same, that StarCraft is such a hard game that when you find people who love it and find people who enjoy having this hard time improving in this game, those people are your friends, because they are the only ones who know what you are going through to become better in StarCraft. So I know exactly what he's saying, and I believe the same. I'm also thinking that the pandemic is helping a little bit for the entire esport, not only StarCraft but entire esport. But on the other hand, we are lacking some offline events, and as Mr. Fengzi said, Mr. F91 was approaching to the players to the LAN, and I'm also thinking that through the LANs and offline tournaments, it's possible to make incredible bonds between the players. And before the pandemic, did you guys have many offline events? Did you have had any offline events in China, like China Champions in Mr. Sun Power organized something like? Is there any was there any tournament which pandemic stopped, or was it mostly online competition?
Awesome, thank you very much. 这个 Zero 说，他这个非常喜欢你的这个打一辈子星际做一辈子朋友的这个说法，因为星际他 Zero 也相信星际是一个非常复杂、非常难的这个非常有趣的这么一个游戏，所以如果这个好不容易遇到一个这个一起打星际的朋友，你一定会很长久，因为这样的人很少，而且只有打星际的人才能更好的相互理解。所以这个
对，
那么另一个问题，就是接着他这个想可能或许这个疫情也对星际复苏有一定的影响吧。反正至少我在新西兰好像是这样的，这个疫情封锁之后，就越来越有更多人打星际。不过接着想这个问的就是这个在疫情之前呢，这个国内也是都只是线上比赛吗？还是说线下比赛这个也很多呢？还是比如说这个三炮有没有安排一些这个线下赛呢？但是因为有没有这个受到疫情，所以这个停止了而转为线上赛呢？
对，山炮的话就是有的，因为疫情的原因导致很多就是一开始计划好的线下赛无奈就是推迟啊，或者是只能在网上举办。现在网上的比赛的话挺多的，基本上反正很多比赛网上，然后线下赛也有，但是要等疫情差不多就是没有那么严重了，会组织一些线下赛，因为中国也挺大的嘛，然后会组织一些地域性质的，就是比如说先去什么上海啊，然后过几个月再去，然后什么长沙呀、重庆啊这些地方，地域性质的，几个月一次吧。
了解，非常感谢。So back before the COVID pandemic, there have been quite a few offline LAN games in China. So Mr. Sampal did organize quite a few games, but because of the pandemic, they were either delayed or had to be moved online. So, but but the community is still looking to organize more offline games tournaments after the pandemic eases a little bit, and most of them would be they would have some sort of like jurisdiction area sort of like scale. So it'll be in each province. So every few months. So usually, for example, there would be a game in Shanghai, and then maybe in Chongqing or Beijing or some other province. So it'll usually be sort of like they'll have different provincial games, sort of like that, and but that'll most of them are they're still under consideration, but I have to see what happens. But there's definitely more demand for these games in China. So yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear that it's possible to be that it's possible that to be the professional StarCraft player in China and to be able to stream full time. That's very inspiring for the foreigner players. Maybe Mr. Fengzi has some foreigner players that he knows. Like, does he know anyone else beside Dawid or and Bonnie? Like, is he familiar with the foreigner scene, or maybe he will just start getting to know foreigner scene through the matches in show matches and in BSL. And maybe if he knows someone, maybe he has some opinion, because he told that he played against Mr. Ziki in the ladder. But is there anyone else who is familiar with and he thinks that there are good players?
Awesome, thank you. 这个 Zero 说，也非常敬佩这个疯子，这个你能够如此这个敬业的打星际，能够每天打8到10个小时，这在这个非韩星际圈现在也是非常非常可贵的。那么这个 Zero 想请问这个，那么你对这个西方的这些非韩选手有多少了解呢？比如除了这个 Bonus Dawid 还有这个 Ziki 这个你昨天遇到那个虫族之外，这个还知不知道哪些其他的这个就是现在的这个欧美选手呢？那么就是你感觉他们的实力又这个怎么样呢？
这个我说实话真的是不是很清楚，因为我这个人比较内向一点，这个是其次，然后跟国外的选手的话，也就平时因为跟欧洲那边打的话，延迟特别大嘛，因为你们可能也懂的，就是有延迟，然后也没有什么好的那种就是联系的方式，不像就是在韩服里面呀，对吧？韩服里面打的基本上都是韩国人比较多一点。欧洲人的话，因为我们也不会像欧洲战网的话，跟国内连特别的卡，所以基本上就是在韩服打，偶尔会遇到一些欧洲人，就感觉他们很有实力，然后但是又不是很熟悉，就遇到但是自从前几天遇到点播赛打那个 Bonus 那些高手之后，就渐渐的对欧洲那边的星际产生了极大的兴趣，就感觉欧洲那边的星际真的好厉害。但是没想到那边也有这么多兄弟一直在坚持星际，能打出那么高的水平，真的很开心。希望以后多跟他们交流一下吧。也希望网速这个问题解决之后，自己能参加 BSL 这个比赛。然后基本上就这样。
了解，非常感谢。So Fengzi said, to be honest, he doesn't really know that much about Western players, European, American players, etc. Because so one of the reasons is because he's more introverted in general, and at the same time there's there's more lag between China and say Europe and the Americas, so there aren't a lot of opportunities to play against each other, on top of communication difficulties, because there are no direct means to contact other foreign players outside of China for them. So most of the times their encounters would be spontaneous encounters between Chinese players and other foreign players on Korean ladder. So Fengzi said he has come into contact with quite a few European and American players before and on Korean ladder, but he thinks they're very, very strong. He's very excited, and also before he played Boneth in the show matches, in a few show matches recently, he wasn't aware that there were still so many players in Europe and other countries outside of Korea and China who are still so dedicated to StarCraft and were also so good at the game. Like he was very like blown away, and he's really happy to find out there's still so many brothers from all over the world who are still so passionate and motivated for about these games, and also they're just so surprisingly good. Like he's very happy and very excited to be able to participate in BSL actually. So and also Fengzi hopes there would be there could be more opportunities to communicate and arrange some maybe show matches or continent games, etc., between Chinese players and other foreign players. So yeah, he's very happy, very excited, and regarding the discovery of another StarCraft world, sort of that feeling. Yeah.
That's the same thing for us. Like actually the biggest, like we knew that the Chinese scene is huge and very competitive, but we wasn't, at least maybe I wasn't too aware that there is a different BattleNet which has a different StarCraft. For example, there are some small changes in StarCraft. For example, in outside China version of StarCraft, the blood is red. In the Chinese version of StarCraft, the blood is like dark or something like that, and there are some minor changes. So it blown away our minds that it's like actually completely different world, and it's but. I'm looking at it as an opportunity for StarCraft to become greater, because if we will unite all the StarCraft fans together from all over the world, I believe that it will be easier to find some good sponsors which will provide high prize pool tournaments for us, and it will bring more people, more viewers, more players, and bigger competition to StarCraft. So yeah, that's really amazing to discover that our world can compete and play against each other and become friends and brothers, as Mr. Fengzi said. So that's really amazing from my side as well.
Awesome, thank you very much. 这个 Zero 说对于这个欧美选手呢，也是有就是像你这个发现这个欧美选手还有这么多人打星际一样，欧美选手对中国也是这个中国的星际圈一直很好奇，也一直知道中国这个星际圈也还是这个很火，但是这个也没有想到这个中国式的这个星际这个战网是自己独立的，而且这个血还是黑色的，就这个欧美选手对这个中国星际这个黑色的血非常的这个感兴趣，觉得非常惊讶，这个完全是另一个世界。这个不过他们这个也是这个像中国选手一样，这个非常的这个欣喜若狂，这个发现这个有这个虽然这个中西方的星际这个之间以前这个相隔这个有比较大的这个网络的这个问题，但是现在这个这个接通在一起了。那么 Zero 也这个非常激动，非常这个看好以后这个星际这个整个国际星际这个大家庭的这个未来，因为这个能够把这个世界更多地方的这个星际这个友人能够这个凝聚到一起的话，那么这个整个星际圈、星际界也就会这个能够得到更多的国际关注，因为以后应该会有更多的赞助，那么而且也能够建立更多的这个兄弟友情，所以对这个。Zero 对这个中西方这一次的这个联系，这个对整个星际界这个未来也是非常期待的，那么也非常这个期待，希望更多中国选手能够来这个交流，建立友情。
好的，感谢 Zero 兄弟这次的采访，还有那个，真的挺开心的，剩下是不是罗贤的人也等了好久了？我们是不是要采访罗贤了？因为这边确实挺长时间了。看罗贤在那边发了好多信息了。
好的，是的，好的，那么这个非常感谢。So Fengzi he's really happy and he's very grateful for this opportunity, and he's very moved or touched by the discovery of this entire new StarCraft world. So he's really happy, really excited, and also I think Legend has been waiting for a while. So Fengzi think So should we move on? Things were thinking, should we move on to Legend?
Okay, so maybe just the last question: where's the place where our foreigner fans can watch Mr. Fengzi, where they can follow them, how they can support him, and how what's the channel name? If he can link it later, I will post it in the description of the video as well.
Awesome, thank you. 这个好的，那这个Zero 也非常感谢你能够来参加这次采访。那么最后Zero 想请问这个疯子，你有没有这个自己的直播间的这个地址啊，以及这个国外的这个观众以及你的粉丝，如果想赞助你这个打星际，想点播你的话，有没有比如说连接地址啊之类的，或者哪些主页呢？可不可以分享给 Zero？ 然后
就是他们国外的要看斗鱼的吧？斗鱼能不能看
？So Fengzi is asking if it's possible to access Douyu from outside of China.
Yes, it's possible to access both Douyu and the TikTok streams.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. 这个国外能看斗鱼，也能够看这个国内的 TikTok 是什么呀？那个抖音吗？抖音、斗鱼都可以看到。
哎 ，nice。因为我在2个平台基本上就是同时播的，在2个那个平台同时开播，然后也是希望多跟欧美的选手多一些交流吧。然后感谢 Zero 兄弟对星际的赞助跟支持吧。然后真的现在星际能有复苏这个迹象，多亏了你们这些赞助商，然后还有这么多支持星际的人，就是在观看的呀，对吧？那些观众，真的感谢你们，因为有你们，星际才会一直持续下去，这团火才会一直不会熄灭。
了解，非常感谢，非常感动啊。So Fengzi has both Douyu and the Chinese version of TikTok. So he usually streams simultaneously on both channels. So he will send you the link afterwards. Okay. And also Fengzi wanted to express his utmost gratitude once again for your support of the StarCraft scene and everyone else in the community, because without our community, without every single one of you, all the viewers, sponsors, and players, and organizers such as yourself, StarCraft wouldn't have the sort of vibrant community that we still have today. So Fengzi is very, very grateful and very completely blown away, I'd say, for this fortunate reality for us. So he's really, really grateful, and almost, I don't know, I feel like he's almost crying almost a little bit, but yeah. Thank you once again. Thank you very much. And
thank you.
He's looking forward to participate.
Yeah, so thank you, Mr. Fengzi, for the amazing interview. As always, thanks to Mr. 4Blues, aka Small Husky, for the translation. Mr. Fengzi definitely deserved what he has, because he's working hard. So I'm very happy that the community and fans are appreciating the efforts of the StarCraft players, and let's hope that it will happen. And we will be in touch in terms of show matches, and I really hope that Mr. Fengzi will participate in the next PSL. So thank you very much, and we will be in touch, and see you around.
Awesome, thank you very much. 这个 Zero 说这个到时候也会非常希望你能够来参加 BSL， 然后也会有点播的这个中西方选手的点播比赛，到时候也会联络你。那么这个非常敬佩你能够对星际这个如此的这个热衷的这个长久的支持，所以也非常感谢你。
可以的，因为我的时差也比较适合。
是的。Fengzi said his time zone, his personal time zone, is also very suitable for BSL, so he's definitely going to come. I think
that's great. I'm looking forward for this.
Awesome. 非常期待你的参加，非常感谢。
行，那先这样吧啊，先这样，下来还有罗贤呢，
好的，
接下来还有罗
谢谢
贤。
Awesome, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Bye bye, Mr. Fengzi.
Bye-bye,
Thank you very
awesome.
much, and see you
Bye-bye.
see you on the BattleNet.
See you again.